dating exactly.
I know this is the only storyline you have here. So
yes, I know. Your own story. This is your own storyline. Yes, that's how, and I'm proud of you. But the head of house, you not get up. She went head of house, you not sit down for that chair. You left the house at head of house. She went at least I'm the head of house, and I was your custodian. Head of house. Yes.
Hey besties, you're welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be discussing day 3 of the Big Brother Naija No Lose Guard reunion, and I will say that at least today it covered multiple conversations that happened in the house amongst this housemate. Now let's just get right into it, but before we do that, hold up. You're welcome to Trends View. If this is your first time here, kindly click the subscribe button and turn on your post notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my updates. And to all my returning subscribers, you know the drill. I love you. Keep watching, and guys, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. So now let's get right into it. Now a first clip was played where Chinwe and Chizoba had this altercation during Checkers tax, and Chinwe was shouting at Chizoba. They were going back and forth, and Ebuka asked what happened there. According to Chinwe, she was trying to be of help to Chizoba's team, that they had been looking for, I think, 2 of their items, and all of a sudden Chizoba just came out and started telling her and the team do not take her things. So it didn't sit right with her, knowing that she was coming from a place of help. Now on Chizoba's side, she said that Chinwe was rude. Now still during that moment, during that Checkers issue, that altercation that they had, Chizoba and Chinne of Ndine had a discussion, and Chinne was telling Chizoba that Chinwe is so rude. So now Ebuka asked Chinwe how come she attacked Chizoba, but then she didn't confront Chinne, and Chinne escaped the whole thing. And according to Chinwe, she didn't want to confront Chinne because that week Chinne had won head of house, which she equally wanted desperately that same week, if we all remember what happened in the show. And she confronting Chinne at that point in time was like it was going to make it look like she was a sore loser, which she didn't want people to perceive, and so that's why she didn't make it a deal with Chinne, which is totally understandable, because you know how the street of BBN is. If Chinwe had done that, it would have come across to us because she did not win head of house, and so she's just attacking Chinne and all of that. So now when Chinwe was giving that her explanation, Nne was kind of interrupting and interjecting, and I'm like, what is wrong with this one? I mean, why are you interrupting her? Let her make her point. It was like, also, you wanted to be head of house that week, so you wanted to be head of house that week. You did not confront my aunt and all of that. I did not just understand it. I was like, baby girl, please sit this one out. The issue doesn't concern you. Let those who are part of that conversation speak for themselves. There was no need to come all out for Chinwe. Hold it up. So now next clip was played where Wani was complaining to Handy about how the Mbadiwe twins were hiding alcohol, the altercation with Ozzy had with Nelly, and then Femi David. I mean, these 3 clips were played. Yeah. So now Ebuka asked Femi David if he thought the Mbadiwe twins were a big influence on the housemate and how they acted. Femi David said that some people were scared of speaking their mind, and if we all watched that show, you would know that he said the right thing, because at some point it was as if everybody was just tiptoeing around them by the way twins. They did not want to have a fight with them, they did not want to confront them on their BS and all, and I'm like, oh. And it was a major part of the reason why the show was even, boring. Because if people had been in their real self, their real character, not trying to pay respect to these twins, things would have just been better. And, Right after that, um Ebuka asked Handy why they did not confront them. Seeing that Handy and Wani are very confrontational people, like you do something bad to them, they just call you out on it directly. But with them, by the way, twins, they did not confront them per se, but rather they had this discussion between them, expressing their displeasure with what had happened or what the Mbadwe twins had done. And Ibuka asked Handy why they didn't confront them. Were they afraid of them? And Handy said that they weren't scared of them. And I'm like, if you were not scared of them, you should have confronted them. I mean, that's what the show is all about. If somebody steps on your toe, you tell that person outrightly, you stepped on my toe. I mean, this was the issue that I had with Nelly. A lot of things were done to Nelly, but she never spoke up. And now, just after the show, she's all of a sudden she's suddenly speaking up. And I'm like, oh, if you gave us this character when you were in the house, we wouldn't be complaining, but you just kept mute. So, anyways, but I totally understand why Handy may not really confront them per se, because remember that Handy and I think OC had a teeny, before they came into the house. So yes, I can make an excuse for them, but I think they should still have spoken about it to them. Yeah. So Ebuka asked OC if he thought they came into the show thinking of what it's gonna be like after the show, like life after show, as against in the show. They had this perspective that, oh, that life doesn't end in this show, that there is life after the show, so everybody should just be thinking about that, which was another reason that made the house so boring, because everybody was just thinking of life after the show. Let's just be cordial after the show, let's not go do things that will make everybody be in their separate spaces after the show. So Ozzy said no, that they didn't do anything to be seen in that light where people should do what they say and not that. But if they ended up commanding respect and it changes the perspective of people, then it's no problem. So to them, they didn't see how their interaction with people played a huge role in how the game was played in the house. Now, this same question was directed to Ozzy, like Ebuka was trying to seek Ozzy's opinion on that, asking what they meant by being conscious of the viewers. And Ozzy said that people can be introduced to something new. It mustn't necessarily be dramatic for it to be entertaining. But again, the street love drama. Even during BB Mzanzi drama, when there was no drama, it looked as if the show was boring. And so, since these people didn't have much drama, I would say they didn't play much role, but they had drama, but not as much as the previous season. And so people thought that, oh yeah, this season is just boring. And coupled with the fact that people were bottling things up, there were no confrontation. If somebody does something bad to another person, the person will just like go in one corner and try to dismiss or discard it. There was generally no confrontation. Yeah. So moving on, Ebuka sought Nelly's point of view, because Ozzy had said that he didn't see that it wasn't a competition for him, and Ebuka sought Nelly's point of view since she was the first person to actually confront Ozzy. Yeah, she was the first person to confront the Mbadwe twins, and Nelly said that the way she saw it at the time when they were in the house, that people were scared to speak up or talk to the Mbadwe twins, knowing that, oh, everybody knows Mbadwe twins, and we know this thing that happens with social elite, you just want to be in their social circle so that nothing goes wrong after the show. So like the housemates, we're kind of like tiptoeing and not really saying or speaking up to them, saying what's on their mind to the Mbadwe twins. Now, over to Nne and Chinwe. Ebuka asked about the dynamics of their relationship at the moment where they are at, because it seemed as though before they came into the house, Nne and Chinne were practically living together, but right now everybody is in their own space. They've moved. So Ebuka asked them what's their relationship like now, and Nne said that they were not on the best of terms, and even family members have tried to reconcile them, but it have yielded no fruit. And the genesis of the fallout started right after the show, but they already had this tension going on while they were in the show, because while they were in the house we could see that Chinne was practically making it look like Nne was disrespecting her, which she equally said in this reunion, because Ebuka asked her where things went wrong with the niece, and Chinne said that Nne disrespected her. So now we all watched the show, and I think for the most part Nne tried in her best ways to still keep that respect that she has for her aunt, because I did not see any time where Nne disrespected her. Rather, I think she was the one who was making Nne look like she doesn't know what she's doing. She needs guidance, she needs direction, but Nne is a full-fledged adult who can think on her own, and she's very smart and intelligent. So why would you say she's disrespecting you? People can have their opinion. People must not necessarily follow your opinion for you to know that they are respectful towards you. So if someone having their opinion as against yours is disrespect, then I just think that Chinne has a very weird way of thinking, and she should just retrace her step. And come on, they are family. I just hope that they sort this thing out between them and go back to the way that they used to be before the show. I don't know how they used to be, but at least let them be like family should be. Yes. Anyways, Ebuka asked way forward, and Nne said that both of them, they have decided to be on their own. It's more like to your tent, O Israel, do your thing, I do my thing, and that's that. So now a clip of where Toby and Mayo was played. Toby and Mayo were talking about putting Aces up for eviction because they sensed Suge was fake. Ebuka asked Toby why he thought Suge was faking it in the house, and Toby said that he just didn't understand Suge's vibe. Most of the time he just has this, oh okay, I'm good, like that. He just couldn't read Suge. He was confused about Suge. That's exactly the point there. And then he asked Topher about it. Topher said that he didn't know that they felt like that he actually thought that they were cool, but knowing now that he thinks that they probably misunderstood Suge. And Mayo stepped in and said that he felt Aces were laid back in the show, but later he connected with Topher. But right after his eviction, he had seen a clip where Suge was told Topher that them the warrior, like Suge told Topher that like Toby and Mayo have forgotten their peer name, yeah, that them the warrior, like they are problematic or something like that. And to him, seeing that clip, he sensed that they actually felt the same kind of energy as he felt. So more like they are on the same page, because Ebuka wanted to get to the root of what the rift was between Mayo and Suge. Now Ebuka asked Suge what he meant by these guys they worry, and Suge said that he shouldn't take his language to heart, like that he could make a billion statements and that could mean a million things and all of that. Ebuka asked if he felt Nelly was a factor. Suge said no, like if Nelly was a factor in the rift that they have, and he said no. Now Ebuka proceeds to ask Mayo that, but he liked Nelly, because we know that right from the show Mayo was the first person to start pursuing Nelly for a relationship, but yeah, because he liked her. And Mayo said that at the time that he liked Nelly. So Ebuka now asks if he didn't think that affected how he felt about Suge, because liking someone and then you find out that, oh, that person is now with this guy, don't you think that's what's making your relationship to drift? And Mayor said no, because prior to that moment, he and Suge wasn't on talking term. So it's not about Nelly. But you know that when you're not in talking term with somebody, and then someone you have interest in is in the hands of this other person, of course it's not going to make the relationship any healthier. So it's just going to keep on digressing to, going a different path. So Ebuka asked Nelly if he thought Mayor chose Ruthie over her. Nelly said she wasn't available then, so Mayor went for the next option. According to Nelly, that when Mayor was asking her for them to be in a relationship, she told Mayor that it was too early. They just got into the house and she doesn't want to be in a relationship at that point. But anyways, in conclusion, see, yeah, both Mayor and Suge do not think that Nelly was a factor in the rift that they had. But after the show, they haven't really found themselves in a space together, but anytime they come across each other, they just greet, and that's all, which is not often. According to me, I think he said that they've just seen each other maybe like once or twice. Yeah. Now, a clip where the parrot spilled what Kassia said about Onyeka, wanting to use Wani and Handy to shine, and was played. And that altercation that happened between Onyeka, Kassia, and Victoria was equally played, and Ebuka asked Kassia to give clarification on that. And I love the fact that Kassia stood on business. One thing about Kassia is that she has always been consistent in her story. Now, you cannot tell someone something and not necessarily now you cannot tell somebody something and you don't think that that person will not dot all the I's and cross all the T's. I mean, human minds do not function in a straight way. You think in diverse means. Now, Onyeka told Kassia that her strategy was being in everybody's business. And now, Onyeka equally told Kassia that she thinks that Wani have a huge fan base outside. Now, when you say your strategy is being in everybody's business, and you know that Wani that you call your friend does not really like the relationship that's going on between you and Sean, it is best for you to step aside, since you call this person your friend. That is what every genuine friend would do. But because you want to play a game, because your strategy is being in everybody's business, that is indirectly saying that you want to use them. Period. So, Kassia maintained, she has always been saying it, and she stood by it, and I love that fact. Anyways, Ebuka asked Onyeka why that fight became a Victoria fight all of a sudden, because it was Kassia that said what was said, what the parrot said. So now, how did Victoria come into that mix? And Onyeka was just rambling, like she always does. She was just rambling. She was not making any point. And then she said that it was Kassia that called Victoria into the mix, which, yes, we saw it on the show that Kassia actually called Victoria. Come, Shebi, you were there when so thing happened. Shebi, she was trying to solidify what she had said. So yeah, now Victoria stepped in and cleared the air, saying that Onyeka was trying to make it look like Kassia, or she just stepped into that situation without her, being a factor that made her step into it. That actually Onyeka was already shouting and saying that person can't call her friend out, making it that person can't call her friend. You cannot call your friend out. You cannot call your friend out. So now it made it look as though she was not in the equation and was now focusing only on Kassia, until Kassia called her to come and confront this, confirm the statement. So yeah, Victoria said that already Onyeka was making side comments, and we all watched that show. Onyeka was already rooting for a fight with Kassia and Victoria. She said it on national television that she was going to do something. I don't know how she put it, in quote, that she was going to disgrace Victoria, something like that. And now with the fight, so you know, it's sometimes when I just listen to Onyeka speak, I just get exhausted because she just says things and maybe she forgets them. She's being delusional, or maybe she thinks this is still a game, or I don't know. But I think Onyeka should just be honest with herself, take accountability, just like Chinwe takes accountability. I mean, Chinwe apologized to Nelly for calling her a thief. Why can't what's her name, Onyeka, apologize for the things that she said? She was the one who called Victoria a ram with a mustache. She said most derogatory words to Victoria, and she still wants to defend herself when it's glaring that she's been the person who's been rooting for this fight between them. Anyways, guys, I'm just going to stop talking here, and I'd like to know your thoughts about everything that happened on this day 3. And until my next video, bye.